leader of the opposition, the member for St. John City South, the Honorable Stedward Cutie Benjamin, and also my esteemed learned friend, the member for St. Philip's North, the Honorable Robin Yearwood, for their presentations in this August House, for their enlightenment in this August House. And we will then hear today from my learned friend, the member for St. John City West, the Honorable Gaston Brown. The point is, Madam Speaker, people are hurting in this country. They're afraid. They're afraid, Madam Speaker, of being robbed. They're afraid. Our women are afraid of being raped. They're afraid of being murdered. They're afraid to talk out. Never before in this country, Madam Speaker, there have been so much fear. Fear of the victimization that they will suffer at the hands, Madam Speaker, of this tyrannical, this dictatorial UPP administration. They are afraid. They're afraid of being hounded. Madam Speaker, they have less money to spend. Food is more expensive. Clothing is more expensive. Electricity is more expensive. Water is more expensive. Telephones are more expensive. Vehicles are more expensive. Petrol at the pumps is more expensive. Rent has become a major burden in this country. The monthly mortgage has become harder to meet. And every single week, Madam Speaker, people are losing their homes. Look in the newspapers and you see, every single day, the banks are auctioning people properties. Never before, Madam Speaker, you have children going to sleep hungry in this country. It is true, it is a fact that commodity and energy prices have risen around the world. But the harsh reality is that nowhere else in the world has any government taken so much, squeezed so much of taxation from people, and so drastically reduced their spending money, their disposable income, at a time when the people need more of their own money to cope with the difficulties. Nowhere else in the world, Madam Speaker. It makes a complete mockery of good governance to insult the people of this country with the propaganda that they've spouted, that people are able to save more money, even though the UPP has increased their taxes, along with the cost of their food, their clothing, their shelter, their electricity, their petrol, their telephones. So who is saving all this money, Madam Speaker? Is it the people in Grays Farm and Green Bay? Is it the people in Point and Villa? Is it the people in Willikeels and Gandals and Seatons? Is it the people in Newfield? Or in Otters? Or in Johnson Village? Or in Clay Hall? Madam Speaker, is this the money saved by the big businesses? Who they are? Are these the millions stacked away by the privileged money class? Mr. Minister, let us have a breakdown of these big savings so we can know the real truth, category by category. And it matters not whether the statistics came from the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, the IMF, or the World Bank. The truth in these fundamental challenges of human survival has always been and remains with the reality of people's lives. The UPP is actually gloating over its grand 2009 budget theme, right track, right direction. The track, Madam Speaker, is high UPP government taxes, high cost of living, low spending money. The direction is unprecedented poverty. Poverty for the people. But the UPP election budget says, right track, right direction. Why change a thing when the people are heading for poverty like they've never seen before? The UPP ministers live well, while the voters of this country, Madam Speaker, they're catching hell. They drive around this country in their big SUVs, speaking to each other about the new houses or mansions that they've recently built, like the one in Gunshots, where there's not enough that is reinforced concrete, but it's cladded with green heart and purple heart outside of the concrete. And a brand new concrete road adorns the driveway of Senator Joanne Messiah. Go up and see. 5 years ago, where all of a sudden, where she couldn't even pay rent. Madam Speaker, they have lost touch with the people of this country. They have lost all sensibility of reality. Where's the caring? Where's the people first? Madam Speaker, the track is rising crime, unsolved rapes, murders and robberies. The direction, Mr. Prime Minister, is unprecedented fear, unprecedented insecurity for the people. But the UPP election budget says, right track, right direction. Why change a thing when residents fear more and more for their lives? Tourists are afraid to visit, and law and order is placed under the most incompetent administrator UK police expert David Loftus has ever seen in 30 years of policing around the entire world. Those are not the words of Asot Michael. Those are the words, Madam Speaker, of UK police expert David Loftus, who said he had never, ever seen such an incompetent, inept, uncaring Minister of Justice like Colin Derrick. Never. And we have placed our police force, our justice system in the hands of this man, Madam Speaker. And then we have the gall, we have the gumption to come here, and the Honourable Member for St. John's Wool East tells us that he has placed $63 million allocation for the 2009 budget because it has become necessary to deal with the inadequacies of Colin Derrick as Justice Minister. Right track, right direction. The budget, Madam Speaker, confirms that with $400 million more per year to take care of the people's business, this UPP government has made a complete mess, a mockery, celebrating its incompetence, its greed, its insatiable, extraordinary appetite, Madam Speaker, for personal ministerial benefit with blatant corruption and scandalous wastage. Not because you ask $400 million more in revenue, you must waste the people's monies. A mile of road, Madam Speaker, around the Sir Vivian Richards Cricket Stadium cost the taxpayers of this country $10 million. Lest we forget, $10 million for 1 mile of road. It used to cost, Madam Speaker, the same mile of road used to cost the former Antigua Labour Party government, under the same contract with C.O. Williams, $1.5 million a mile. But it seems we no longer have the right to question such mind-boggling irregularities. Madam Speaker, the persistent cries by the people of this country for action, action to ensure that is the justice, Mr. Prime Minister, we want to hear. with respect to the